What's going on with the Siccness.net? It's your boy Coop. You know what we do about this time. Back at you with another interview. This time we got one of the hardest working DJs and producers in the game. You go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
Oh man, I go by the name of DJ Fresh, DJ Fresh. What up, Siccness? Cool? What's happening?
First of all, before we get into this interview, you know what I'm saying? We got the finals and the playoffs. OKC, Miami. Who you going for?
You know what? I'm just watching a good game, man. I mean, I hope Oklahoma wins, though, because they kind of the underdog, if you will, you know. But, I mean, I'm just watching a good game, man. You know, I like to sit back and watch a good game.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, it's 2012, summertime. You got a long resume. You've been working. If anybody's familiar with the work, they know DJ Fresh and what his get down is. So, as of today, man, I got a long laundry list of things you got coming up.
You said it's safe to say I got a nice little lineup coming out within the next year?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, man. First of all, let's talk about this Tonite Show series in general. I probably talked to you about this before, but what was your whole brainstorming, the idea of getting this whole series together and getting to work on it?
It just started with me being a producer and a DJ / producer, and I wanted to work with different artists, and I wanted to come out with my own projects in which, you know, the music was timeless. I just didn't want to take random instrumentals that were already popping on the radio from a Lil Wayne or whoever, you know what I mean, a Jay-Z, and go get an artist to rap on it. You know, I wanted to produce my own music. You know what I'm saying, and just start really building my own lane. You know, and then you know, it kind of turned into what it is today. I had no idea it would be that when I first started. I just know I wanted to do my own music, and I was just doing it for fun, you know what I mean? And it's paid off.
Is doing this line of the Tonite Show series and the other projects that you be having your hands on, is this something that kind of separates you from the rest of the DJs in the game?
Yeah, definitely, because there's no other DJs that I can think of who actually do this. You know what I mean? Even the DJ Khaled's and DJ Dramas and them, like those are big household name DJs as well. But they're actually not producing the tracks on those albums. You know what I'm saying? They're more so being a DJ and getting this artist with that artist, and which I do that too. But they're actually not hands-on on the keyboards and the pads and really producing that shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a DJ premier, if you will, you know what I'm saying? Or a DJ Quick or something where I'm actually producing those tracks. But, you know, much love to them dudes and shit. I'm just saying that's what separates me on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying, the Bay, than any other DJ, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm making that shit, me and the Whole Shabang.
If you was to give a definition or to define your sound, what would it be?
I would say just you know, I'm on the 80s hype, you know, but I would just say just no rules to my sound, you know what I'm saying? I'm just free spirited, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like to experiment with my shit, you know, so I don't really have like a name for it or whatever. It's just, you know, it's just how I'm feeling, you know. I love samples, as everybody know. I love samples, but I just like that dope shit, man. You know what I'm saying? That fresh shit that as soon as it come on, it just take you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? A good mood. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the mood and the groove of the music, so that's what they're in my sound. You know, I have to try to label it.
Where you at right now, number-wise, with the catalog?
As a whole, I did this the other day. I've done about almost about close to 60 projects collectively out of everything. I've done almost 60 from 2004 till now. I've produced almost 60 projects. That's everything though, from Tonite Show to Real World and Sim Cities and just everything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm deep in it, man.
When you working on these projects, because like I said, I got a list of things that you're working on. When you tackling these projects, are you tackling them one project at a time, or are you bouncing around from artist to artist, project?
I used to, back in when I bounce around a lot, like I used to do that more so. Like I do like 4 or 5 different projects at once. You know what I'm saying? I was working out of the hieroglyphic studio in the town in Oakland, and anybody who was somebody or whatever, had to come through there, and I was always there producing. You know what I mean? So I was working on a lot of different projects at once, and I was doing a lot of beats at once. You know what I'm saying? Like always doing beats. Just because that's what I love to do. But now more so, I like to just focus in on 1 or 2 projects, you know what I'm saying, and just be in that particular mode and zone of the project that I'm working on, and give that artist, those beats, you know what I'm saying, and then it actually goes a little faster, because you're focused on, 1 or 2 projects instead of, focusing on hella projects, you know what I'm saying, so.
Okay, I seen you posting. You was in the community part of the Siccness, and you had a thread going on. You were talking about something new you were starting with some of the fallen soldiers, like Tupac and whatnot.
Oh, right.
You want to give us some clarity into what you're doing with that, and how is that coming along so far?
I'm gonna just do it. Basically, it's just gonna be like a what if series. You know what I mean? Like what if Mac Dre was alive? And we would have did a Tonite Show. So basically, I got acapellas, and then I'm just taking the acapellas, and I'm gonna just put them with the beats. You know what I mean? And call it a what if series. Like, you know what I mean? And that's just something that I'm gonna give away. I'm not even gonna sell it. Like, I'm just giving that shit away just cause. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is some free shit that I just want to give away. So.
Okay. So it'd be like the DJ Fresh remix albums.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. I got this info here. You got some new Tonite shows coming. A lot of people already know you've been working a while with Mitchy Slick.
Yes, sir.
With the Feet Match the Paint and whatnot for the project coming up. Where are you guys standing at with that right now?
The Feet Match the Paint is done. We are just getting the artwork done, and we're getting it mixed and mastered right now as we speak, and it's incredible. That project is going to be Mitchy Slick's debut album. That's his album. That's not a Tonite Show. That's his album, and I produced it, and it's an honor, because Mitchy Slick is a West Coast giant, man. You know what I mean? A staple. And we worked on it for like 2 years, and it's done, and we just want to put it out right and all that, So yeah, it's a monster, man. You know what I'm saying? It's truly a monster. And we did the whole thing together too, Like we was really in the lab together, staying up late nights, like together though, not that email shit, We wasn't emailing each other, had the tracks. Like I was making the tracks right there in front of them, you know what I'm saying? And just the whole chemistry of the record is it's really dope, and it's different too. You know what I'm saying? It's different, but natural too. You know what I mean? It's nothing like forced on there. You know what I mean? So I can't wait till it come out and people start hearing and give us the feedback and shit.
So that's kind of something different than what you normally do when you're doing these projects. It's pretty much being hands-on with the artist, being in the studio with you, compared to producing tracks by yourself and then giving the artist a selection of beats.
Yeah, I mean, if I can have it my way, yeah, I like to be there. You know what I mean? Like I said, I like being there when they're actually recording the shit and doing the vocals. You know what I mean? I mean, because a lot of artists really don't do that shit no more. You know what I mean? I mean, so you know, when you can be in the lab with somebody, it just makes the record sound better. You know what I mean? The vibe is better, the feeling is better. You know what I'm saying? You might want to add something right then and there, and you're trying to do it later on or some shit. You know what I mean?
So I mean, you sent me something. You said you're working with the Jacka now on a Tonite Show series, right?
That's right. Yep.
Oh, how you hook up with Freddie Gibbs, man?
Freddie Gibbs, his manager Lambo, actually is he found me. He was like, man, I really like your music. I want you to work with Freddie. I want you to do something with Freddie. And at the time, I didn't know who Freddie. I didn't know his music. I didn't really know who he was, but I knew that he was on that XXL top 10 freshman thing. And I looked him up and checked out his music, and then I had reached back out to him, and then it was on from there. We started fucking with each other. I went down to LA to go meet him, and we just been kind of rocking since then. So.
That's something you've already started on, or y'all started music already?
Yeah, we've already started. We got a couple songs, and we probably gonna be wrapping it up within the next. He's gonna just come to the Bay, and we're gonna just do like a good 3 or 4 day session, 3 or 4 day full session, and just knock it out in one whop. Again, just hands on with the artist, and just being there and knocking it down together.
I mean, you worked with a lot of people, man. Not just you're originally from Baltimore, right?
Right.
And you've been in the Bay for a while, but you don't just work with the Bay Giants. You also been on the road and worked with big artists from the East Coast, in Chicago, Nas, Common, Raekwon. How is it different stepping out of the Bay Area soil and then jumping on their path and working with artists like that?
I mean, of course it's I do a lot of show stuff with them cats, you know what I mean? So in that regard is dope and it's big, and like I'm doing Rock the Bells this year, which is a blessing, And what I'm trying to do is I want to be able to take what I do out there on them shows and do it with the cats who I work with. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of those main hitters and shit that be doing those Rock the Bells and those pay dudes, and I know what they look for and I know what they want. And this is politics and shit, you know what I'm saying? Once you get your foot in the door, then you can do what you want to do. So that's one of my goals, to be able to integrate with who I work with in the Bay and be able to do it with, the bigger cats, the Live Nations, and, you know what I'm saying, the people who be doing the big tour fest and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of cats in the Bay, like, on performance-wise, don't use DJs, but that's because, for one, there's not a lot of real DJs, first of all, and for two, it's like, it's difficult to do that when a lot of artists don't even really get in like the instrumentals for their album. Most people just want to do the album and bounce it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to bridge it together, because I know I even get them calling me sometimes, like, who can we bring from the Bay, and I'll start well, let's do this, let's do that, and then they actually want to see well, who's the DJ and all that, and then we get a bad rap, you know what I'm saying? I just want to change that, because it's some real dope artists in the Bay. I mean, some dope performers, and like, you know what I'm saying? So they kind of just blow us over as if like we can't even do that shit. But we gonna change it. Things change, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of my goals.
That goes to my